What's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to get hit with the truth. So today we're doing the Showtime recap from Saturday, August 20th that was headlined by Omar Figueroa Jr. against Sergey Lipinets, as that replaced the Figueroa versus Broner card. I'm going to get into the undercard before we move back to the main event. So we start with Brandon Lee. It was a 4-fight card, undefeated junior welterweight on the rise. Brandon Lee took on little-known Will Madera, and he almost got his undefeated streak ended as he got put down hard early in the fight. He somehow got back up and, just outworked and outclassed Will Madera the remainder of the fight. Walked away with a 10-round decision, his second consecutive, I believe. And, as things start to get tougher, opponents start to get better, you start to get the 10-rounders, you start to see how good a guy really is. And Brandon Lee, to be honest, I said on my preview of this fight that if Brandon Lee didn't knock Will Madera out, then, people can start questioning things. Well, not only did he not knock him out, he almost got knocked out himself and put down hard. So, a lot to wonder to see how good Brandon Lee is. I really don't know. I think the jury's still out on that, but we'll see going forward. But he got a victory. He's not going to crack into my top 10, so he's probably just going to keep banging around, and we'll see what happens. Now, the next fight on the card was Roger Gutierrez versus Hector Luis Garcia, for the WBA super featherweight title at 130 pounds. Now, I picked Garcia to win this fight, but Roger Gutierrez, in my opinion, beat himself, or at least took himself out of the fight by not really doing much the first 8 rounds. I mean, 8-9 rounds, he just did not do very much. He was very reluctant to pull the trigger, and he was just getting outboxed and outworked. And then when he started pulling the trigger, started throwing more shots in the later rounds, he started to make a dent on Garcia. And I just imagine what would have happened if he would have done that earlier in the fight. Garcia doesn't seem to be a big power guy, and it didn't seem like he was hurting Gutierrez. He was just seemingly outworking him, outboxing him, keeping the distance. And, Gutierrez I was like, wow, why would you not just go for broke? Make this guy beat you. You're the champ. And his corner finally had to motivate him and say, hey, we're going to stop the fight if you don't do something. But it was too little too late, and he couldn't make a big enough dent to hurt or stop Hector Garcia. And Hector Garcia walks away with a clean 12-round unanimous decision. He is now the undefeated WBA super featherweight champion. Big win for him. Not sure if Gutierrez is going to get a what's next following this. Garcia will for sure, so we'll discuss all that next week. But congrats to Hector Garcia on becoming the new WBA champion at 130. Next is the co-feature. It saw undefeated Albert Puello against Batir Akhmedov. And I picked Akhmedov to win this fight, and I thought he did win this fight. It was a really good fight, though. I mean, these two guys were throwing and chucking the entire night. But I felt like Akhmedov continued to keep coming at Puello and giving him trouble, and I felt like he outlanded him, but was landing more telling shots. But Puello was landing good shots as well. I wouldn't have had a problem with a draw, but Akhmedov lost a 12-round split decision, and one of the cards, I think one card had it 116-112, and the other card had it 117-111. I'm sorry, I can't see it 9 rounds to 3, and even 8-4 is a little rich for me, but to call it either way, I'm fine with. Puello walks away with the title, and probably going to crack the top 10, winning an official world title now. So we'll do a what's next on him next week, but big time win for him. Akhmedov, I'm not sure if he's going to break the top 10 with a loss, but he might, because that was a razor thin fight. It was very close, and he put his ass on the table, threw his balls on the table. He fought his ass off, and he almost won. I actually thought he won the fight. fight, but you know, it was very close. And now the main event. You saw Omar Figueroa Jr. taking on Sergey Lipinets. 6 days notice. Lipinets was supposed to fight already. It was Lipinets' return. Actually, Figueroa's return. Both of their return to 140. And instead of Adrian Broner and Omar Figueroa, Lipinets stepped in and pretty much just beat down Omar Figueroa Jr. Figueroa was landing his shots, but his punches just did not make a dent on Lipinets. And Lipinets was just cracking, man. This guy was just ready to go. He was just supremely confident. You could tell from the get-go. And he was just dominant in this fight. He was landing big, hard shots. And he hurt Omar Figueroa badly in the second round. Well, he had him hurt pretty good. Figueroa made it out like he wasn't really hurt, but I think that was just the beginning of the end right there. It was kind of the writing was on the wall. You could kind of see what was going to happen. And Lipinets just didn't take his foot off the gas pedal. This guy at 140 is a very dangerous fighter. You know, he did 147, and a lot of people are going to look at that knockout loss to Jaron Ennis and think, you know, Lipinets is not that great. Let's be real. Jaron Ennis is probably going to be a middleweight and a very good one at some point. He's a big guy at 147. Lipinets, this is his second weight class. He only moved up a few years ago after he lost to Mikey Garcia. He only moved up because the World Boxing Super Series didn't invite him into the tournament. And he didn't really have much else, much bigger fish to fry. And 147 was deep with talent, so he moved up to 147. This guy's got balls of steel. This was a big win. And this win, in my opinion, in his resume, is going to earn him a top 10 spot at 140. 140 is getting very, very good. And there's a lot of good fights to go around. So this was a very big win, very big fight for Lipinets. We'll discuss his what's next week. Omar Figueroa Jr. retired after the fight. You know, he wanted a different result. You know, the one thing about Figueroa, when he goes out there, it's just a straight chuck fest for him. He wants to just completely go to war. He does that every time, win, lose, or draw. And you got to tip your hat off to him for getting in there and, you know, going for it. It was the third strike, and it's the smart move. You don't want to get beat up, you know, and it was his third consecutive loss, and it's the smart move to retire from the sport after 3 in a row like that, and 3 convincing ones. You know, your Dennis Ugas pretty much started it going by just really beating him up for 12 rounds a few years ago, and then Abel Ramos doubled down and pretty much dominated him, and then Sergey Lipinets just finished him off pretty much. So tough loss, and but way to go out on a shield. Retired at the right time is Figueroa, and Sergey Lipinets is reinstated himself in the 140-pound weight class with a big boom. So it was a pretty good card top to bottom, and that's what I got. That's the Showtime recap from Saturday, August 20th. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate any and all support. This is True Boxing. You've been hit with the truth.